Hello guys, Indian vlogger here. So guys, a lot of people demanded introduction course to international terrorism and what is terrorism. So this is very beneficial for all people who are going towards SSC, CGL and UPSC and who are in country want to know about international terrorism. So guys, what is terrorism? The first definition of terrorism is characterized for first and foremost by the use of violence and is often used against normal citizens in order to achieve political change. So by killing civilians or hijacking a plane to see as the fastest way to spread terror in the minds of people and get media attention, which is eventually lead to pressurizing the government. So there are three factors which has led to the birth of transnational terrorism. Transnational terrorism is spreading of terrorism in other parts of the world and which is like borderless, like spreading of disease from one organ to another. The first factor is in 1968 the expansion of air travel, and the second is the expansion of television and news coverage like Al Jazeera and new channels coming up, and it has used by the terrorism and terrorist organization like Al Qaeda and other groups, as we know have seen in the movies and else. The third factor is the reducing of the security and opening of borders between many countries like India and USA. So, guys, the third factor is very important because a lot of governments have reduced security on their international airports, which has led to infiltration of a lot of people, like the 9/11, when many Islamic terrorists were able to come inside the USA. So the features of new terrorism are we can follow this. The majority of transnational attacks from 1980 onwards have been targeted against the American citizens and symbols. Like you see the attacking of Embassy of America in Africa and many other regions. And the trend in terrorism since 1968 includes a greater casualties and increasing sophistication and suicide attacks. So sophistication is like plastic explosive, remote control bombs, and other stuff. So the basic causes of Islamic terrorism, there are actually three causes, which first is cultural, economic, and the third part is we shall first discuss the cultural one. Some superpowers and some scholars have said that the rise of capitalism and increased international trade has led to a fear in many third world countries in East, as people fear that their tradition will be lost and values against a cultural tsunami of and the bombardment which is by Western products and their idea and political thought. So economic explanation, the economic part which has led to increase of terrorism is the economists generally believe that monetary is the main and the economy is the main reason for the rise of tension between various groups and among the people in a particular society, most most probably in third developed underdeveloped nations. So we can state one example. The UN, the World Bank, and IMF has been accused of many discriminatory policies which have favored the developed nations as US and Europe and have been very bad for the underdeveloped uh, states like Africa and many countries in Asia. So this is the reason that many people are forced to take arms in their hands. And guys, there have been a lot of things like religion is the main cause of many international attacks which have been seen from the Middle East, and post 9/11 is a major thing which you should mention when you are talking about new terrorism. So everything changed on September 2011 when three aeroplanes were hijacked in America and were smashed into the Twin Towers of World Trade in New York and in the west side of the Pentagon. The whole world watched as 3,500 people died, and there was an event. oh, This was the event and the most like destroying event in on the U.S. soil, and which led to very frequent counter-terrorism techniques by US as increase in surveillance and increase in torture and combating terrorism. So we can also talk about that many states have eager and unitedly launched integrated attacks on the basis of sending troops to Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been targeted by USA as being the hub of many terrorist organizations as Osama bin Laden. And guys, you have to mention this fact that Osama bin Laden was killed in Abbottabad in 2011 by US forces. So the increased security of airports is also a fact after 9/11. The use of surveillance by many countries like the FBI and other stuff, and it has also led to a negative impact as a lot of people have been tortured thinking of being a suspect in 9/11 attacks and having links to terrorist organization. Okay, and you can mention the examples of many events which have happened in the post 9/11 uh, period in USA. So guys, to counter terrorism, one thing which is said by many authors is that a united effort needs to be taken by all the governments, and by bringing people into the uh, towards law, and killing people is not the solution to end um terrorism, but to find the root cause that why people are against the government and why people are forced to take arms. So, guys, if you have any questions regarding this, please comment and I will respond to it as soon as I can.